Hi guys, and welcome to this advanced point of sales tutorial developed using Python. Now let me show you guys how this works. First of all, I'm going to show you how the print function works. Click on the print just to print out all the item there. There we go, look at that. There. Okay, and we can even reset and enter a new product. Reset it all, and let's enter a new item. So let's go for that, cakes and so on. There. And we can even remove an item that we don't want and add more item. Then click on, let's assume the customer is going to be paying by, let's say, cash this time as well. He's deposited £40. All we just need to do is to click on pay and we get the change. That's the change, and right there we can also print that out. There we go guys, look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys straight into Python development environment and we'll put one of these very beautiful tutorials together. Okay guys, let's start a new project, and just for your information, for most of my viewers out there would like to know the version I'm using is actually Python 3.9.0. So first of all, I'm going to import as follows. Import the Kinter, and that's going to be, I'm going to import all. I think I might have to increase the font size here. Let's go for about 14 so that you guys can see that. Apply. Okay, yeah, and import the following as well. There. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this project, let's create a class first, and I will call that class point of sale. Okay, now let's come down here and just define as follows, and I'm going to say initialize. Now I'm going to enter self, comma, and I'm going to say that's root. And the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to say self.root, just to define the following. Self.root, it has to be indented though, and make this one dot. This is a self, comma, root. And now I have self.root equals root, and self.root, I'm going to also add a title to that, so copy that and just paste that in here. That's for the title, so I'm going to say dot title, and the title I'm just going to call that point of sale. There we go. Right. The other thing that I'm going to do is to define the geometry, the background, and input will be true. That I'm going to be using that for the number pad. So let's just copy that again, paste, and that is going to be for my geometry. The geometry that will be for the size of my application. Let's try to get that right, and I'm just going to make that about 1350. Multiply that by 750 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. That's the coordinates, which means the application is going to start from here and all the way down. Depend on your own resolution. Now let's add a background. So I'm going to say self.configure, or you can use config, and the background this time around I'm just going to make that maybe I should go for my regular. Yeah, why not? I'm going to call that cadet blue. You can use whatever background you want. There we go. And what else? Here, let's declare the following. I'm just going to call that set.input. The input value that is going to be for my number, the number of buttons that I intend to create. I'm going to call that it's going to be true. There. So just declare that for now. The other thing I want to do is to import every single images that I intend to use. So let's say self.coffee coffee1 equals picture. This is how you import your image. Okay, you must enter picture image, and the picture image file equals, I already have that on my system, it's called coffee1 dot get file. There we go. So I have a lot of those images, so, and I've named them in a convenient way. I have coffee 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can just paste. Get all of this indented. Hold on to your control, and there we go. Using the square bracket, bring it back there. I just change this one to 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to add the rest of the images that I intend to use. So now that you guys actually get the whole idea of how to get the images on board, right there are all the images I intend to use. Okay, so I've actually embedded it straight into the system, and maybe I should show you guys the images. And let's go, there we go. Those are the images I intend to use. So I've already called them. So minimize that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, let's try this out anyway. I'm going to use an if there. Let's say if underscore name equals underscore equals, that would be underscore main and underscore apostrophe and column. There, I just want to round it up and see how it's gonna look like when I run it. So let's say root equals tk. The T is in uppercase, the K is in lowercase. So let's say application equals point of sale, and it's going to be a child of a root. And let's just come down here and say root dot main loop. There we go. Okay, let me just save this. I just want to confirm that it's going to work as expected. So let's go to file, save. There will be nothing happening though, so maybe I should put that in here. Yeah, that is the one with the printer. And point of sale underscore printer. There. Yeah. Save. And as you guys can see right up here, you can see it's the version 3.9.0 for those of you who regularly send me an email. That's it right there. Okay, so let's run and see. Run. Okay, we have an error. Oh, that should have a column in there. So run it again. Run. And let's see. There we go. That's just the interface. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so like I said earlier, it's version 3.9.0. so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to declare some variables that I intend to use. So right underneath here, let's say global and I'm going to call that operator there. And this very operator, let's initialize it with nothing. I'm going to be using that for the number pad equals nothing. Now the next thing is, let's declare a calc. I'll use that for the calculation as well. Well, I might not use that. No, let's declare change. We're going to need change. Change equals, let's say change input. Okay, change input. Change input is going to be equals string there. Okay, let's just speed up this and I'll get back to you guys. There we go, guys. So what I'm going to do now is let's create a frame. So I'm going to call that main frame, and my main frame is going to be, the widget will be a frame actually, and let's say it's going to be a child of self.root. There we go. And let's make the background color BG. I'm going to make that cadet blue as well. I don't even think I should do that, since the default is cadet blue. Okay, now let's run that up. So that's going to be main frame dot grid, and this very grid, let's get it padded x equals 8, and the y padding equals, let's say 5 there. Okay, let's create another one for my buttons. So for the buttons, we say I'm going to call that button frame. Button frame equals frame, and this frame is going to be a child of the main frame. Yeah, main frame. Okay, comma border, make that about 5. Okay, we can always change that. And the width, we're going to make that about 1350. Height, we make that 160. It can always be changed. So X padding, we make that 4. Y padding, make that 4 as well. Yeah, why not 4? Okay, and BG color, let's set it for by cadet blue. There we go. Now let's say relief, that is going to be rigid. Ring. There we go. There. Let's run this up. Let's come in here. Let's run that up. Say button frame dot pack, and it's going to be inside. Let's say side is equals button. Yeah. Okay. So let's just speed up the others. Okay, guys, the frames are all in place now. Just take a good look at them. There we go. These are all the frames for now. So I'm going to run it. It will look a bit messy, but don't worry about that. Okay, that's how it's looking now. So we then take care of all of these, add some text widgets and so on in here. These are going to be buttons. So exit out. So let's come in here. Maybe I should do one thing first. Okay, let's come in here. Let's take care of I'm going to call that let's call it calculate frame widget. Yeah, something like that. Why not? There. Okay. In there, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to say self dot LBL subtotal. Yeah, subtotal. Why not? That will be equals label. So I want that label to display my subtotal, and this label is going to be a child of the calculate frame. There we go. And I say comma font equals maybe area, and the size of the font will make that about 14 bold. Yeah. Okay. Text on it, I'm going to make that subtotal. Okay, what else do we need to do? Let's add border. We make that 5. Okay, so what else do I need? I'm going to close that for now, and I need to close something. Oh, here. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so let's run this up. So underneath here, I'm just going to come down here and just run that up. Let's say dot grid. That is going to be row equals 0, comma, column equals 0 as well, and strictly west. Yeah, strictly west, comma, get it padded x, that would be 5, equals 5. Close that. There. So I'm just gonna save that and run it. Let's see. Let's run that and let's see how that looks like. Then I'll take it from there. There we go. So let's add a text box to it. Copy all of this, just change it to run. Come right down here. There. Instead of LBL, I'm going to change that to TXT here as well. And this is going to become entry widget. Yeah. Entry widget. And we're going to get rid of this. We don't need that. There. Alright, that is the very first one. Let's see, let's run it and see. There we go, that's fine. So close that. Now what I'm going to do is, let me go right up here. I need subtotal input. Grab subtotal input. That's going to be the variable that I intend to use for it. Let's say comma there. Press enter. Text variable equals that. Okay, that takes care of that. So I'm going to copy and just speed that up for the next one. Change this around and repeat the same thing here. There, that will be for the total. Come right down here. This is total. Change that around, total and total here. This will become total there, and this, the one in the middle, that's going to be tax. Now repeat the same thing for the others. Tax and tax here, and we have tax in here. There. Tax here as well. We're going to have to change this though. And let's see, we have 0 here, so this is going to be 1. That will be 1, and this will be, if this is 1, this will be 1 as well here, and this will be 2, and 2 here. There, it's supposed to be 2, not 3, 2. Okay, let's try that out so that you guys see how that's gonna look like. Let's see. There we go, look at that. So that's cool. Now I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing, because I intend to populate this side of it as well. Okay, now let's speed that up. I'm going to grab all of these, copy and paste it right underneath here. There we go. That's for the second frame. Okay, I've actually speed up the second frame. This is it right there, but one different is I've entered a combo box here. That is the combo box. Above it is the label, and inside the combo box I've just entered cash, Visa card, and MasterCard in there. That's the combo box. Okay, there isn't much different. And I've also taken upon myself just to call the various text variables there. Okay, let's press enter here so that you guys can see what's going on there. So let's run that. You see. Then the last frame, I'm just going to add buttons there. There we go, that is it. So that's fine. I'm going to add buttons here to exit out. So come right down here. I'm going to grab all of these, just copy that, add a button underneath here. Okay, right underneath here, I'm going to add buttons. So let's change this widget so I don't get confused. That will be buttons. Buttons for pay and so on. Pay, print, remove, yeah, and so on. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, bring it down. So right underneath here, the very first one, I'm just going to enter self dot btn pay equals button, and is going to be a child of remove frame there. Okay, now let's get it padded as well. I'm going to say pad the x-axis by 2, and the font, let's go for about maybe 15. Just copy it here. Yeah, make it a little bit bold. 15 bold. And the text on it, the text content on this is going to be pay. What else do we have? The width equals 10. Height, yeah, let's make it 1 just to restrain it. And the border is going to be 2. Okay, close that. I think that'll do. So this very button, I'm going to round it up here. Come down here, just copy paste that underneath here, paste, and that is going to be dot grid, and that's going to be row 00, row 0, column 0. Copy that, paste that here, there, and the column is going to be 0. So get it indented, yeah, right. What about padding though? Maybe I should get it padded. Yeah, let's just set that as the default equals 4, and the y-axis padding, make that 2. Right, so I'm going to save and run, then I can just copy it around if it works fine. Okay. Oh, that should be an equals there. Now let's try that again. Run. There we go. I have my second button, my first button. So I'm going to copy that now. Copy. And just add it over there. 2 and 4. I have 4 in total. So let's indent and change things around. So that's it there. And this is going to be prints. That is my reason for creating this very program, the printing. And the other one is the calculation buttons. And this will be remove item, or just remove. There we go. Alright, this is going to be column 1, row 0, and this will be 1. Yeah, that's correct. This will be 1 as well. 1, and this will be 1. Maybe I should swap this around. Okay, now let's save it before I change the names. Let's run it and see how it's gonna look like. There we go. You see that, guys? So I'm now gonna just change the names. So this is gonna be called BTN print. BTN print here. And BTN reset. So that takes care of the buttons over there. And this one, I'm going to call that remove item. Come in and paste. There we go. That is it. All done for those buttons. So these very buttons that I've taken care of, I'm going to actually copy them and use them for the others. Let's see. That is fine. My buttons are in place. Exit out. Okay, let's start work with the calculation or calculator buttons. So let me copy all of these and bring it down here. Let's paste it right here somewhere. There. And this one, you guys might not be able to see that right. Okay, now this is going to just be for button calculate. So just in case if a customer enter or decide to pay by cash, so that's the purpose of this button. Okay, now let's change this one. This is going to be 7 and 7 here. So let me take care of 1 first. I'm going to get rid of this width and so on, and let's make this about let's copy this anyway before I start changing things. Paste. This is going to be, I'm going to make it about 22, and I'm going to make this about, so let's make the Y 22. That's going to be Y, and I'm going to make this go for about 13 here. The font 20, okay, and this is going to be the text. We'll make that 7. Okay, but here let's change this. That should be something to do with button. Change button. So change the button frame. Copy paste that in there. And that will be button in here. You can just copy this, paste that in there. So that's the name of that very frame. Okay, I'm gonna make this. Let's go for about 8. Right. What else do I need to do? Okay, I'm gonna enter. Let's say BG color. That's BG equals cadet blue. Right, that takes care of the color. And what else shall I do? I think that'll be all. So I can even, okay, let's do this. Press enter and just grab all of this. Let's put them in one line instead of making, yeah, put them here and get rid of this. Yeah, that's another way of developing your button. Anyway, you can just do it that way. Okay, let's see, that will be 0 0. And what about the padding? Do I really need that for now? Let me get rid of this for now. If I need it, I will have to add it to it. Let's run it and see how that's going to look like. There we go, that's my button right there. So I'm just going to copy that now, since that is taken care of. Just copy and we change it around. This is 0 0, that will be 0 1 2. Okay, here is, this will be 9 and this is 8. And let's just get this thing indented properly. This is 9, 8 here, and yeah, that'll be it. That is 0 0 0 1 and 0 2. Run. Let's see. There we go. Now we're making a progress. Okay, exit out. We can now copy and paste. Copy all of these. Paste that underneath here. Repeat the same thing for the next one. And another one. So I'm just going to now change the details around. This will be, let's change it here, then I can just speed up the rest of the naming. That is 4, 5 and 6. This will be 1, 2, 3, and here I'm going to have 0 here, decimal here, and a clear function here. Right. Now let's get the rows right. This is, very first one is 0, so this will be 1, 1, 1, 1, and we have 2, 2 and 2 here. Then we have 3 here, 3, 3 and 3. Now let's run our program and see how that buttons is going to look like. There we go, all my buttons are in the house. Nice one. So the whole idea is when I click on any of these buttons, it will display the value, the amount deposited by a customer right here. There. So that is all there is to that. So let's just change the names, and we can call it this one dot, and this is 0. We have, what number is it? That's 3. 3, 2, 1. That will be 6, 5 and 4. There. So run it again. Run. There. That's fine, guys. So I'm going to call it the end of the first part of my tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.